And last but certainly not least is Jacob Andrews, founder of drone manufacturer iVue, an American technology and media company.
Hey everyone, my name is Jacob Andrews. I founded iVue. Originally, I had an idea to map the world with drones, but as I started building iVue into the company that it is today and the company I want it to be, tomorrow or in the future, I started thinking about what that actually means. And it's really about making the world more accessible. And, people will probably say, well, we have cars today, we have computers, we have all these great devices and vehicles to make the world more accessible, being able to reach goods or information, other people around the world, right? But I think drones are the next platform that are going to take, our connectivity to a whole nother level, right? Essentially becoming the next sort of personal platform that every household and business adopts. And so while we are working towards developing the drone for the everyday person, before we get there, we started thinking about the business model for how we can actually make a business around this. And so when I originally started thinking about the idea of mapping the world with drones, I of course thought, well, we need to make our own drones. So as Bernie mentioned in our intro, we are manufacturing our own drones. You could see 4 of our current models here in front of us. That's where we make most of our revenue today. But where we actually started off bootstrapping, we started a brand called iVue Media, and that's really geared to provide value to the drone operators of today, where we're going to make every household and business or people within those households and business drone operators. Really, the only people operating drones right now are aerial photographers and videographers, at least the drone operators that are making any money with them. So while we want to make drones more valuable, more versatile, able to do more than take photos and videos, doing these media services has allowed us to start offering value to the drone operators of today. And of course, to make our hardware, our drones easier to use and scale our services, we're also developing our own drone operating system we call World's iVue. But where we're at today, we have Develop Air, which is really designed to build a foundation of enthusiasts, hobbyists, students, developers, engineers, the people that want to make drones easier to use and more valuable, right? Making the different software applications, the different payloads that you can attach to our drones, and of course, even just improvements to the drone themselves. In this case, we've made Develop Air completely open source to make it just as easy or as accessible as possible for those wanting to help us build this future of drones that anyone can take advantage of them. But that's leading towards our next product that we're working to bring to the market, Omnibot Air. Again, drones that are really designed for the everyday person, everyday household. And a big problem with that is, again, most people aren't photographers or videographers, so they don't really get value from the drones that you can buy off the shelf today. And the people that could get benefit from a drone outside of photography or videography, you need like a DIY custom drone platform, and that's just too complex for most people to be able to operate. So there's a big hardware problem that exists for making drones easy to use and valuable for the masses, the everyday person. So we are looking at our software very much kind of like Google Maps and the look and feel of it, where if you try to tell like a roofer, a farmer, or anyone to use a controller like the one I'm holding up in my hands, they're going to say that's too complex for them to operate. Something like this sort of smart controller that's maybe $1,000 is a little bit better, but it's a dedicated controller to fly your drone and a very expensive paperweight whenever you're not using it. So we make our software right now out of a web platform or out of the web browser. So using any phone, computer, or tablet, you can actually just fly your drone with or without a controller. So you can tell your drone where you want it to go and what you want it to do. And that's something that really anyone can do if you can use Google Maps. Beyond the drone control elements, though, we are also building out other applications and allowing third-party developers to also build out applications. One of these applications is iVue Media. So as I talked about previously, we're already offering services by and large without a software platform to be able to facilitate those orders. But the same platform for our drone control will also be able to fulfill those orders. Taking in the orders from our customers who are like real estate agents, construction companies, events holding or businesses holding events needing some sort of photo or video coverage, and then us dispatching the drone pilots to those locations. And again, it's very much like an Uber sort of business model. Of course, we want those drone operators using our drones, but right now they can use any sort of off-the-shelf flying camera drone. And now this is an example of one of our services where we have generated more than $500,000 of revenue to date so far, predominantly from now 36 of our Develop Air sales and more than 700 of our media service orders. And this video that you're seeing is one of our Develop Air drones with a deployment mechanism that we designed. And this was the first service that we were able to provide outside of the media production space, where we were able to utilize our own drone and software, again, for a paid service. As far as a look at the market goes, you can look at all these numbers, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that the drone industry is big. It's continuing to grow or take off, pardon the pun. But I think the best way to look at it is there's about 1 million registered drone operators in the U.S. today. And
1 minute, Jacob.
thank you, Bernie. About 1 million drone operators in the United States today. But again, thinking about everyone becoming a drone operator in the same way we're car and computer operators today, we just don't use those terms. It's only a matter of another decade or two before everyone is considered a drone operator in that same sort of context. Well, again, I've talked a lot about what we're working towards. It's not just myself that's, leading the charge. I have a great team working alongside me. Brian, who's helping do this video production. Gerardo, he does a lot of the electrical engineering and design documentation work. Mohit leading the charge on our software development. And then we have a great team of advisors and investors backing us, gearing up to raise a $2 million seed round to bring our next drone product, Omnibot Air, to market. Thank you.
Great. Nice job and right on time. Let's open it up to Q&A.
What's the heaviest payload you think you're going to be able to carry?
So with Develop Air, 7 pounds. With our next product line for Omnibot Air, it'll be roughly in the 30-pound capacity. So the idea is, like with Develop Air, there's not just one model. There's our base Develop Air model that can carry a 3-pound payload, our Develop Air XE that can carry a 5-pound payload, our Develop Air HP that can carry a 7-pound payload, and our newest in the lineup, the Develop Air Mini, can carry a 1.5-pound payload. Our Omnibot Air drones are designed to carry multiple 1.5 or 3-pound payloads. And we'll have 5 different models with a differing amount of modules each one can carry.
I make a lot of trips to Lowe's, and it'd be nice to, small piece, place an order and have them shoot it to me on a drone versus light fixtures, ceiling fans. I don't know. I think that'd be a little too much, but eventually.
Yeah, and again, we talked about it at the before starting this presentation. We are behind, not as a company necessarily. I think in some ways, we are, when you consider DJI, the kind of 1,000-pound gorilla in the drone space, much further ahead of us in terms of market penetration, getting drones out into the hands of the everyday person. But as far as the value that they can provide to people, we are still what I like to say, like pre-Model T moment in the drone industry. And to that end, it was like the businesses that were adopting the cars themselves doing the deliveries. And I think Lowe's will do that, where you could pay $3 or $10 for same day, same hour delivery. But I think it'll also make sense for them having curbside pickup like they do for cars now, where you have your own drone and you just send your drone out to the Lowe's and pick up your goods.
I mean, 5 years ago, if you just said, yeah, Walmart will bring you a gallon of milk. Really?
And that's happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I meant to also, like where we were talking before the presentation, China, you can go over there as a tourist, get in a passenger drone, and actually take flight yourself. So, I mean, we're really working to get people used to the idea of using a smaller sort of personal assistant drone on, throughout your day-to-day job or your day-to-day life. But, over the next couple decades, as the technology becomes, more comfortable to people, as it becomes, more affordable, I think we'll start to see more and more people actually commute via passenger drone as well.
Jacob, what would you say are maybe like the top 5 use cases for the average individual, not someone running a small business or
Yeah.
a large business, but on that personal level?
Yeah, I think deliveries, that's the big one, having your own personal like carrier pigeon of sorts. And then also being able to operate as your security system. Less people may care about that. But if you do any sort of like gardening for your house, or you have any sort of yard maintenance to do, the drone could help with, fertilizing your yard, watering your plants around the house, tending your garden to some degree, or at least telling you, hey, all of these, strawberries are ready to be harvested. In the same way, like a personal computer, can be used by like the parents for, productivity in the house. Sending your kid out to go play games with it. Like, we developed the world's largest claw machine game. We've done some, R&D into building a laser tag system as well. So I think a lot of the value is really going to be centered around delivery, first and foremost. But I think there's a lot of those sort of ancillary sort of use cases that may not be as popular for everyone, but when they're needed, you don't need a separate drone.
Quick follow-up on that, on the delivery part.
Yeah.
So, you talk about Lowe's. I mean, obviously, if Lowe's says, hey, we'll offer delivery and we buy the drone, we'll deliver it to you, that's one thing. It's another thing if, 100 people all send their drones to Lowe's, at 8 a.m. on a Saturday morning saying, hey, fill my order and send them back. What kind of system or network do you think you would need to put in place to make that happen? Or do you think that there's something else that will make that happen?
I think it's going to be both. Like, we're already working on our software where you can connect to our drones via the internet. So, every drone is, essentially capable of talking to one another, letting them know where each other are going, where they're at any given time. But then it's a matter of communicating that with other drone manufacturers. And the FAA may come out with a standardized, sharing platform. But at the very least, we'll be able to handle it internally with all of our drones, and then it's a matter of working with others.
Nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Jacob, congratulations on your presentation and your sales traction. Very impressive. Can you talk a little bit about your sales process and how you plan to continue to grow?
Yeah, so with our sales so far, again, it's predominantly been, founder-driven sales where you meet me and then you want to work with us because of some of the capabilities I talk about. From the service side, we're looking to scale that again with our software platform. So instead of like the real estate agents, construction company owners, or businesses that are hosting events wanting to coordinate some sort of photo or video for their location, they're just booking that online. We've already proven that out to some degree, but with a very kind of rudimentary version of the software platform. I think from the services side, a lot of that's going to come from ads, social media ads. That's where a lot of these businesses are spending their time looking for these sort of services. But on the hardware side, less so actual paid ads and more so just organic content that we're producing and then getting out testing units or demo models to influencers, predominantly on YouTube, that are already doing like drone review or similar tech review videos. And I think that's going to be the way that we can, get the most appeal beyond the sort of in-person outreach that we're already doing and will continue to do.
All right, thanks very much. We are out of time on questions. I want to thank all of our venture founders for all of your hard work, your diligence, and some great presentations today. So we want to begin now a panel discussion with our founders to give them the opportunity to talk about their experiences as they were on their journey through the American Technology Venture Labs Objective-Based Mentoring and Educational Program. So since we went, let's go in reverse order on the panel. We have about a half hour for this, so you're not going to be cut off. So Jacob, let's start with you.
Yeah. As far as my experiences go, Bernie was picking up. No, I'm kidding. No, of course, I did when I originally found the ATVL program. I wasn't sure about it because I've gone through other accelerators before, CreateX, which is Georgia Tech's startup accelerator. Definitely did see that to be worthwhile. I've also gone through Tech Alpharetta, local to Alpharetta where I live, and that was less of a structured accelerator or incubator, but still was able to meet some great people. But not to the degree that ATVL has the structured mentor sessions between like each in-person session, having the mentor check-ins and having the objectives that you're working with your mentors on, I think is a good kind of guiding light, for lack of a better way to put it. Not that we shouldn't have our own, sort of sense of direction without, the help of the mentors. But again, I think it's more so refining what our own direction is with the insight and experience of some of the mentors. And I guess also going back to that first experience, I found out Dennis Hayes was running ATVL, and being, a technology fanboy like I am, I thought, I need to see how I can get into ATVL and start working with, a pioneer of the early days of the computer industry. And been very fortunate that, I was accepted in, and everyone here has been willing to work with me.
All right. Anything else? All right. Jacob, you've done well, and I didn't pick on you too much.
Yeah.
I'll try harder next time.
I'll wear my protective outer coating now.
You got it. Let me turn it over now to Doug Hinges, and